Hello, I'm Alistair Stevenson reporting for V3, and today I'm reviewing the Samsung Galaxy S5. Now, Samsung's been trying to get into the business market for quite a few years. This started with the S4, which was the first phone to come with its Knox security service. The S5 continues this effort, though it's managed to fix a few key flaws that stop the S4 getting our top marks. Well, the biggest of these is it's actually IP67 certified. Now, traditionally, Samsung devices have felt a little bit flimsy and plasticky, and while this is still made of polycarbonate, it's a lot more robust. As you can see by the plug on the port, it's actually water and dust resistant. You'll also see Samsung's tweaked the design a little bit, adding a perforated polycarbonate backplate. And in general, we're quite big fans of this because it means it's a lot easier to get hold of the device, and it in general feels a little bit more comfortable in hand. A consequence of its rugged nature, however, is it is a little bit heavier, weighing in at 145 grams. Though again, this isn't backbreaking, it's not too much of an issue. There's also a few more subtle changes, like the addition of a heart rate monitor on its back, and, taking a page out of Apple's book, a fingerprint scanner on its front. Now, the fingerprint scanner is a real big selling point to businesses, because it means you can actually lock the S5 to one of 3 fingerprints. This means that if the device is lost or stolen, people won't be able to access it. Now, with the device on, you can see one of the S5's biggest selling points, and that is its 5.1-inch Full HD 1080p display. Now, the display is one of the nicest we've ever seen, and thanks to Samsung's custom Super AMOLED technology, also isn't too much of a drain on the battery. Another key selling point, which lies under the hood, is its Snapdragon 801 processor. Now, we've only had a chance to play with a few 801 processors, but found they really do offer superior performance to the previous 800 for Snapdragon from Qualcomm. This remains true on the S5, which is one of the fastest devices we've ever tested, and we're yet to find a performance issue with it. Behind it, you'll also see it's running on a very heavily customized version of Android 4.4.2 KitKat, which comes loaded with Samsung's custom TouchWiz interface. Now, we've got to applaud Samsung for the work it's done removing a lot of the bloatware which plagued previous versions of TouchWiz. However, going into the applications menu, you'll see there are still a number of superfluous apps and widgets which are uninstallable, which is a bit of a pain. However, it does have a few key perks, the biggest of which is Samsung Knox. Knox is a custom security service from Samsung based on NSA technology that's designed to offer IT managers similar sandboxing powers to BlackBerry Balance. This means that with it installed, you can set up separate work and play areas on the phone. The work area is password or thumb protected and encrypts any data stored on it. In the past, we found that Knox is a real selling point for businesses. However, sadly, the review unit we had didn't have it pre-installed, though it is available to businesses via certain channel partners like Telefonica. And we'd really recommend anybody looking to use the S5 for work purposes invest in it. Another key upgrade is the Samsung Galaxy S5's 16-megapixel rear camera sensor. Now, in the last few years, Samsung's lagged behind competitors like Nokia and Sony in the camera department. And sadly, even though it is a marked improvement on the S4s, the 16-megapixel camera still isn't as good as those competitors like the Lumia 1020 or Sony Xperia Z1 and Z1 Compact. In terms of power, Samsung claims that the S5 can last 21 hours of talk time off one charge. Battery burning the device, however, we found it generally lasts only about 7 hours. And with real-world use, we've got around 1 to 2 days, though with heavy use, we could knock the whole phone out in about 8 hours. Costing £550 and available now, thanks to its security services and robust design, we have to say the Galaxy S5 is currently the best Android choice available to businesses, and would wholeheartedly recommend anybody looking for a top-end device check it out. I'm Alistair Stevenson, thanks for watching.